Do you think Diddy would take some people down with him if he get arrested?
Oh, my man. Come on. His daddy was a rat. Hold on, let me just, I know this ain't got nothing to do with, but I'm going to tell his story. It was this gangster, right? He said, when you go there, kill the father and kill his son. And the guy said, his son is only a baby, 4 years old. He said, his father was a rat and he gonna grow up to be a rat too. It ain't no way that he gonna go down, you understand, and not take nobody with him. His father was murdered because he ratted out his team that he was working for. So you think he not gonna rat? Like father, like son, brother. That's what I believe.
Wow, man. I didn't know that. So Diddy dad was a rat?
My man, I had a conversation with New York Freddie. Omar took me to a meeting because New York Freddie wanted to talk to me. He said, yo, I've been trying to get in touch with Russell Simmons and I've been trying to get in tough touch with Puff because I wanted to tell him the true story about his father. You understand? I said, yeah. And now this is New York Freddie, one of the biggest gangsters in Harlem. Puff father used to work for his team. He was brought in by one of his best friends. So he's telling me the story how Russell Simmons used to work for him. You understand? He said, Russell Simmons used to take my laundry, to the cleaners and everything. He said, I had a glass table with $1 million in my office. I had $1 million in a glass table. You know what I'm saying? Of $100 bills in a glass table. I said, yeah. He's telling me his whole stuff. He said, Russell Simmons used to work for me because I was starting a record label back then. I said, okay. And if you look up New York Freddie Myers, you could see when he was picked up with a whole lot he had stacks of money in his house in the basement in Mount Vernon. So he said to me, he said, yo, we had cops on the payroll. He gave a cop, one of the cops brought information. He had the paperwork and he had Puff father take confession. He gave him $10,000 extra for it, right? Puff father told on their operation. New York Freddie told the guy who brought Puff father into his crew, you got to handle it. I want it handled. So then he said, I want it handled. So now the dude handled the situation. Puff father was driving the cab. He met him on Central Park West and did what he did. And so I said to New York Freddie, I said, yeah. He said, and the guy who killed him was carrying the casket, crying the hardest at the funeral. I was like, oh, shit. Now, check this out. I was going to tell this story on my members only page on my YouTube channel, The Gene Deal Show. Only my members, hey, but I'm going to give it to you. It's this lady that told me she was dating Puff father at the time. Right? She was dating Puff father at the time. She said she was waiting on him because they were supposed to be going out to Smalls Paul. It was either Small Paul, she said, or it was this place up there on McCoon's Bridge. I got it because she texted this whole thing to me, bro. It's crazy how she texted me this whole story. She said that she never knew why Puff father was killed. He said the word got through Harlem that he was murdered. You understand? And she went up to the bar the next day and the same dudes was on his team that he worked with him, sold drugs with him. New York Freddie and their whole crew. He said they was in the bar laughing and talking like nothing had ever happened. She said, thank you, Gene, for telling me that story about New York Freddie and Diddy father, because now I know what happened to him. So Melvin Combs was a rat. And these guys, this came from a gangster himself, you understand, who said he had police on the payroll.
Crazy. And they had Diddy dad on tape telling?
He said they brought him the tape and the written statement. And then Puff father was asked by the dude why he told. He said he had to go to a wedding and he didn't want to miss it. I swear for living Jesus, man, that's crazy. And that was told to me by New York Freddie. My man Omar had took me to him because he wanted to sit down and talk to me.